Hey, greetings from Charlottesville, Virginia. Tuesday night, about 9:30. You guys doing great here in my office, in my upstairs office. Kind of winding down for the day. Enjoying a little time with family and friends, and hope you guys are doing great, and I hope you guys had a great Tuesday. Hope it was full of inspiration and real change wherever you were doing. So again, I'm Ryan Grubb, and here with Real Stuff, Real Change. If you don't know yet, we are on the YouTube feed now. We have a YouTube channel, and we have lots of videos on there to kind of explain what we do, a little tease what we do, so you can kind of find out a little more about the various things we're trying to do at Real Stuff, Real Change. We train and educate people, clients, and groups how to be stress-free and content within their own place of safety from an emotional perspective. So if you're not familiar with what we do, we're an emotional intelligence company, and we work with people's emotions and feelings to help kind of mitigate pain and hurt in ways that helps them shift how they think. So that's kind of a little explanation of what we do. And we're working with people all over the world. We're working with different kinds of people. We work with people of all economic factors. We work with people in different professions. We have clients in Norway. We have clients overseas in Belgium, some in Canada, many here in the States, some most online and some face-to-face. We have an office in Charlottesville that we work out of with Melanie Dorian, who is a holistic nurse practitioner, a really good friend of mine, and Dr. Fox, who work to help people understand their bodies from a functional medicine perspective. So anyway, with that being said, I wanted to kind of share a thought with you tonight on what the difference is between the ideas of healthy and unhealthy assumption, or what many call unhealthy what ifs. And if you're anything like me, surviving or reacting has been a way of life for years, up until just 2 or 3 years ago. It's a way of really communicating how to protect myself. And one of the probably one of the most powerfully unhealthy affirmations that many people have is they love to assume things, and they believe that means that they are preparing, or they're protecting themselves from something that might go terribly wrong. And what the problem with this is they're jumping to the future without knowing anything. It's similar to people that are depressed or people that are anxious. They have depression or anxiety. We want to diagnose them with depression and anxiety, but really it's a behavioral activity. Depression and anxiety can be both something, one is dealing with the past, I'm depressed, and anxiety could be what might happen, what people perceive is going to happen. They project, and we're all guilty of this, even myself. And with the help of learning how to think on a healthy emotional level through various techniques like tapping and learning how to visually perceive things from a positive state of mind, affirmational training, even using scripture, I have become much more fluent in the emotional intelligence of my life, and this has lessened, it has decreased the number of opportunities I used to have to be emotionally stressed, reactive, dramatic, over the top, overwhelmed, whatever you want to call it, which many of those things lead to other things in life, such as being overweight, being tired, and just really being out of sorts, and not really even knowing it because it's an unconscious thing. So I want you to think about the what ifs in your life that you project on a regular basis. Maybe it's one or two things. Maybe it's we might get in an accident, to something bad's going to happen when we leave the house, to today at work, if I don't do everything right, I'm going to get fired, to my wife or my spouse or my husband might leave me because of mistakes I've made in finances or in relationships, or my kids are going to end up being terrible because I made certain mistakes. Or in our household, we homeschool our kids, and sometimes we can feel like we're not doing enough for them. They're not socially inept, they're not connected, and so we start to play these games in our mind, like, oh, what if they do this, or what if they do that, or what if they go to college, or what if they don't ever have friends, or what if they don't ever experience things like we did when we were growing up, especially me, like the alcohol and the drugs. I was so far in, I don't even know how I got out. So, but my point is, there's a what if factor in all of our lives, and that what if factor determines how we think. It determines how we respond to things. And we may not think it does. We may think, well, I'm just being prepared, and I'm thinking about all the worst possible things that could happen, and I'm really being effective. I'm really being consciously effective. I'm crossing my T's, I'm dotting my I's, I'm doing all the things that are necessary to make sure nothing bad happens. When in fact, that is exactly the opposite of what you're doing or what I'm doing. When we do this, we create more opportunities for trauma, more opportunities for drama, and more opportunities for problems. Now, let me explain to you what I mean by that. If I am going on a trip and I start thinking about every possible thing that could go wrong between the time I get in the car and the time I get to where I'm going, my destination, I want you to think about how much energy I'm expending before I even get in the vehicle and turn the key. I'm probably expending about 25 to 35% of the energy I have right in front of me. And I'm projecting things to go wrong. I'm actually predicting that we are going to have problems. And people might say, no, you're just planning for the worst. Why not plan for the best? Why not be proactive and positively affluent in the ideals of the trip? So let's take a look at this in a different way. We get up, we have our car packed, we enjoy the time getting ready. We're not panicking about what time we're going to get there. We have an ideal strategy of what time we're going to get there, where we're going to stop. And we just get in the car and we just go without projection. What is the likelihood that less will happen or less problematic things will happen if we do that, versus being over the top prepared in ways that are kind of intimidating to a lot of people? Just think about that for a minute. What ifs? And I want you to do a little technique for the next 2 or 3 days. I want you to try to recognize each time you start to become what ifed. Just call it the what ifs. And I want you to write down what you're what ifing. And so what I mean by that is, you're going to work, or you're preparing for a trip out of town with your family, or you're having people over for dinner, or you're hosting a party or something like that. I want you to what if things. And I want you to see if you can turn that into a positive, proactive response. Something emotionally healthy. And I want you to take what if and take what you proactively response. I want you to write them down, and I want you to discuss them with somebody, maybe your spouse, maybe one of your friends, and I want you to get their thoughts on what the activity you did, and see what they think. And then from that point, I want you to start making like a list of things that you need to change what ifs to positive associations, and try that for 4 or 5, 6 days and see if that works, because that one little exercise can change the way your brain reacts to your daily activities. It can change and shift the way you respond. It can change and shift the way you react. It can change and shift the way you behave, because really everything inside of you is a behavioral function or dysfunction of something that you've already experienced, you've learned from a culture, environment, or it's just something you've picked up and you've printed in your head from early in your life or middle age, because you can imprint things the rest of your life. That means you have the opportunity to re-imprint things, to redevelop, reframe, resize, reshape the things that are ultimately dysfunctional into functional, healthy, emotional stability. So with that being said, that's all I wanted to share tonight, the what ifs. And they are very powerfully influential in your life. They can be a very destructive tool unless they're used from a positively affirming mindset. So with that being said, this is Real Stuff, Real Change. Thanks for tuning in tonight, this Tuesday. I would love for you to check out our YouTube channel. The link is on the Facebook page. I'll go ahead and post it again. All you gotta do is go to YouTube and go Real Stuff, Real Change. It'll come up. You'll see it. You'll see our logo. It's a pretty cool logo, and you'll see that. You can check out the videos, check out what we're doing there. And then I would really love to talk to you about what we're doing with clients, how we're helping clients change the perception of their life, their projection, how we're going into their unconscious programming, and we're pulling them out through the ideals of mind change, mind coaching, tapping, visual perception, visual imagery, guided imagery, all kinds of different ways we're working with people, relaxation techniques and so forth, to better formulate their thinking for the present and the future. So with that, have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your week. Hump day tomorrow. More to come tomorrow on Real Stuff, Real Change videos. And we look forward to our future with our potential podcast that we're going to have. And we're going to have lots of people on talking about real stuff and real change. And the book that I am slowly writing. It's taking longer than I thought. So with that being said, have a great night and enjoy whatever you'll be doing. And take care. Peace.